Where my mouse clicks. Okay. All right.
So that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Welcome back, everybody. Ginsu's computer fucking anheroed on us, and yeah, but it's all better now. And I solved the puzzle. I took the opportunity to solve the fucking puzzle. Well, it wasn't that I solved it. I just had to go. Like, I figured out that I had to get on that platform, but then I tried to do it like the other way around, and I really just had to come back here, hit the thing, and then cross using these things, but not go all the way to the other side. Just cross to the platform and then hit the other two, and it was like, it's like there's like a window. The margin is like it's like a 2-second margin. It's something stupid. But yeah, so we're back. And what were we talking about? We were talking about something that was at least moderately amusing.
Yeah, I can't remember.
You mentioned something about a friend of yours who was
Oh,
talking
posting
about.
empty fucking platitudes posing as depth.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, seriously, for some reason, morons think that every single shower thought they have is incredibly deep.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like everybody has those, and then like as soon as you go, all you have to do is like if you're the kind of person that has those thoughts, all you have to do is log into Facebook, type it in your status, and then right when you go to hit that like submit button, you're like, this is fucking stupid, and then you erase it and you don't post it. Maybe that's just me personally, but like I feel like that's how you know that it's fucking stupid and the world doesn't need to know. The silence is not very consoling here. I don't know.
sorry, a friend of mine who was supposed to be hooking me up with a job just told me that he just got fired.
Wait, what?
So, yeah, I'm boned for the foreseeable future.
Well, it's a good thing that you're streaming with me because we're gonna make like bucket loads of capitalist cash on this shit, right?
Oh, sure, yeah. I definitely haven't tried this before.
There you go. And yeah. What do you get fired for?
Apparently, he was rude, seemed bothered to help people and do his job, and a few executives don't like him. His company didn't want to get rid of him, but the customer company wanted him immediately fired.
Oh, it's one of those fucking nut job companies that like if the customer says jump, they say fucking how may we please. If the customer says jump, the response is like, okay, we'll jump, but how can we suck your dick at the same time as we're jumping?
Or to shorten it, they say jump, and the company says, yeah.
Oh God! All right.
So yeah, if he got fired for those reasons, I have no chance. Like, none whatsoever. So, yeah. Great, now I get to tell my wife that my perpetual unemployment will continue.
Well, I mean, it's a shame you don't live in Pittsburgh because I know that the place I work for would snap you up in a hot second, and you would probably not be. You would probably get promoted quickly, just because you know a lot.
Eh.
They have a branch in the south, but it's in Memphis.
Ugh.
That would be like
Memphis.
yeah. I don't know. I've never been to Memphis, so I've heard it's kind of like it's kind of a more, like, and this could be completely bogus. Like I said, I've never been there, but I've heard it's kind of like a slightly more New Orleans-y kind of vibe than it is like filthy Bible Belt South vibe. Not that there's no overlap there, but
Wait, are we talking about the same Memphis?
I don't know. I've never been there. Never been there. Memphis, Tennessee, like the Memphis.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the Memphis is in Egypt, but whatever.
Oh, okay.
The OG Memphis. It was like a
Today I
major
learned.
world city for over 3,000 fucking
I
years.
did
Yeah,
not
that
know
one's in
that.
Egypt. Yeah. Yeah, the Memphis is in Egypt. Yeah, anyway, back to the topic though. Um yeah, I've been through Memphis for business purposes before and wasn't impressed. And mind you, I was born in Tennessee. Oh, god damn it. I am never going to find a job. That's a real downer. My buddy just got fired, and
that
now I'm
is
screwed too.
that
That's
is
it's double downer.
that is double downer. Uh, are you are you not so much in a streamy mood anymore?
No, it's fine.
All right. Well,
I had a particularly sunshiny outlook on life before.
that is true, and that's part of the service that we provide here at this.
At DIF Gaming.
Yeah, we decided to go. I was Cybercore Gaming, and then I was like, because I couldn't think of anything else to call it, so I was just like, whatever. I'll base it somewhat on my music, since my music goes on that channel too. But like, the Ginsey wanted to call it DIF Gaming, and he told me what DIF means, and I'm not gonna repeat it. And and it's just gonna be a mystery.
Yep.
Yep. Anyway, what's also gonna be a mystery is how I fucking. Come on. Like, seriously? Can I not just shoot the fucking thing? Please!
You gotta lead it.
I'm trying to lead it. I don't think it works like that. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh my god, it just happened. Just magic. Just magically, everything just fell into place and was beautiful.
Oh, 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 it's magic. No.
Oh, fuck. Cutscene.
Never believe it's not so. It's magic. Oh my god. Do you remember the fucking all the different like long distance calling companies back in the day, and one of them used that, but they cut one of the O's out of it, so it was just it's that always drove me insane whenever that commercial came on, because I'm like, why? Everyone's gonna dial one too many zeros because they know the song, and fucking.
I don't know the song, but you know me. I don't fucking like 90% of pop culture goes soaring over my head. So
Wait, you don't know that song?
I don't know. No,
Oh my
I don't.
god, what?
I don't know that song. Like, I mean, it sounds vaguely familiar, but you could say that about any pop music.
The kingdom of man is not yet strong enough. Earth will be destroyed. There will be no war, Azrael.
Did you die again?
A little bit.
Oh, okay.
Only on the inside. Come on, computer, stop acting dumb.
It's okay, because there's plot happening, so...
You don't know the song Magic by Pilot from 1974? Really? I'm having problems processing that.
Well, process the big Scottish giant that just gave the Angel of Death a really big sword. Or,
That seems like a good idea.
He's recounting a story because we were paying attention.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I had all my focus right on that cutscene.
treason. War will root out all involved and make them pay. Starting with this one. No. Fool! You deny the will of the council?
You heard the angel's confession. My service to the council is ended.
Evil Navi is evil.
No.
Destroyer and shut him down. Balance. Remember? Get up. Azrael lives until he stops being useful. After that, you will do
Remember YTMND?
Yeah, and it still exists. I've used it in the past year.
I know it still exists, but I mean, like, remember when it was like new?
When it was like the thing? Yes,
Yeah.
I absolutely remember that.
I miss those days. I remember when I first discovered YTMND, I was like, it was just like, you know those moments where you find something on the internet and that thing on the internet is just the best thing ever for like months and you just can't get over it?
Yes.
So yeah, like I had that moment with YTMND, like I think like my senior year in high school, and yeah, I remember it was what was it? It was the fucking. There was two like main things. It was the Conan raving to like DJ Tiesto, and the Captain Picard and like the Star Trek Captain dance gif things with the music and shit. Like it was something. It was like Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise. It was just like on a loop for hours, and it was just like, oh man, it was like it was like I'd achieved enlightenment.
I have reached a new level of consciousness.
I was like,
this meme.
I can't. I fucking
Like
came
me
online.
Like
as
me
a
when I
result of that.
discovered Insanity Wolf.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. What was that?
Oh god, I gotta find the original. It's an image macro type meme of this wolf that looks like he's screaming. Hold on, I gotta track this down. It shouldn't take long.
That's fine. And then what else did I discover on the internet that ruined? I mean, we already know about ED and like what happened when I found ED, and
Yeah.
and then like, and then I don't know. I guess then Poll happened and ED stopped being funny because ED started being Poll.
Well, sure. I found it. The original whole is kill her, rape the corpse, set it on fire, snort the ashes, dance hard techno.
What? Say that again slowly.
Kill her, rape the corpse, set it on fire, snort the ashes, dance hard techno.
I mean, okay.
That's Insanity Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh,
sounds like it.
I remembered another one of my favorites is like roses are red, violets are blue. I'll fuck you with a rake.
Wait, what?
Just Insanity Wolf.
Jesus, that's
Parents catch you masturbating, look them in the eyes, and finish.
Oh, I've heard of that one. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like this is something I've seen before. I don't know it by its image.
Steal a car, chase the cops.
We had some of, what was that? Like remember when like swag was like a thing and like people couldn't stop shutting up about fucking swag. And then we made our own, like, I don't know, we were at Fridays that one night back when like you could smoke in Fridays, and we kept I don't know, we kept making swag jokes until it really should have stopped being funny, but we just kept laughing at it.
Oh no, I totally remember. And then
Yeah,
like we went to leave, and I was entirely too drunk to be driving, but I did anyway. And I think Darren was going to ride with you. I was like, no, come get in the Swagmobile. And then we listened to The Motto by Drake on fucking loop all the way to wherever the fuck we were going.
And I think at some point someone was like, "You're gonna get pulled over," and you were like, "No, I'm not gonna get. We're gonna. Yeah, if I get pulled over, I'll be."
Fuck. Cops pull me over. I'll be like, "You better take me to the pen. I got too much swag for county." Yeah.
Yep, pulled over for driving with too much swag.
Yeah. Aggravated swag.
Oh my god.
Possession of swag with intent to distribute. Yeah, don't get me started. I can make some swag jokes. Oh, back to Insanity Wolf. Go to blood drive. Donate other people's blood.
Ah, man.
Baby kick it back. Mosquito bites you. Eat it and take back what's yours.
Jesus.
Watches porn in the front row of class. Drive-through restaurant. Drive-through restaurant.
Oh man.
He wanted to fight fair. I smashed his nuts with a lead pipe. Take a trip to the Virgin Islands. Rape them.
What? God damn.
Insanity Wolf, bro.
I recognize a lot of these.
Tennis balls. I play with grenades. Plays Russian roulette with a Glock.
I mean,
you call it kidnapping. I call it surprise adoption. She ignored my calls. I ignored her screams for mercy.
Damn.
Staring contest with the sun.
I don't know where to go. Fuck.
She can't leave you if she can't find her legs.
What?
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Oh.
Anything too dangerous to mention on stream?
Oh, I think all of this is well past any sort of decency. So here's another one. She says you're not as romantic as her friends' boyfriends. Kill everyone she knows so that she loves you the most.
Oh, so it's like the original over-attached girlfriend.
Well, no, just all manner of fucking insane bullshit. Find beehive in the woods.
I mean, I don't know. I've seen overly attached girlfriends say some pretty insane shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's usually it's different degrees of insanity, I think. Mother-in-law is getting a little bit gray. Keep dumping cement.
All right, that's it. I'm picking up the player's guide. I don't fucking know how. Like, I'm back in the central room again, but there's no indication of like how I get into the third quadrant or third-rent of this place. I don't fucking know.
Third-rent.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I said it.
Not just section. Let's call it a third-rent.
Second beam. Okay. All right. Did that. Okay. 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 All right. Okay.
Go to the largest mall on Black Friday. Bomb it.
I mean, that sounds well justified.
Yeah, it kind of does. Fucking capitalism. Plays paintball. Use knife to conserve ammo.
I mean, That, that does sound pretty effective.
My waitress had a black eye. I made sure to speak loud and clear because she clearly has problems listening.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
oh,
Come on.
oh,
All right now.
oh, this is all bad.
All
I mean, it
right.
could be worse. I could be reading Foul Bachelor Frogs.
Yeah. All right.
Moving on!
Yeah. Okay. Jesus.
And we found the line.
Yeah. We're okay. I mean, oh, remember that thing that I showed you? I think I showed it to you, and it was that there was that YouTuber that was doing. He's like an animator, and he was doing like these really, really dark, extremely fucked up, childhood ruining animations of Pokemon, and it was like, and a couple other things. Like, but there was like, what happens to all the Bulbasaurs that people didn't choose when they played fucking Red and Blue? Because like everybody, like, obviously anybody who chose Bulbasaur didn't actually exist or was a loser or something like that. I don't fucking know.
Well, they certainly didn't have any friends.
It was like all the Bulbasaurs got tossed.
Don't let friends.
Yeah.
Like Bulbasaur.
All the Bulbasaurs got tossed into this like basement room with like all these like feces covered reject Pokemon that were like,
Oh my god.
yeah, and it was like, and like the Lavender Town theme was playing on like really high volume. Is it coming back to you now?
Yeah, I remember. That just reminds me of a prank I wanted to pull on my former employers. What I wanted to do was get a Furby and torture it for a few weeks because, they just kind of like parrot shit that they hear. So what I wanted to do was basically like seal it in a box and just have like Skrillex blaring for like a month straight.
Oh god.
Or some shit, and then just like super glue it to my boss's desk. It would just be fucking screeching incoherent noise. Call 911 now! You can imagine, like, a possessed Furby screaming dubstep.
Oh god.
Actually, that's probably what your own personal hell would be.
Yeah, actually, probably.
Is just millions of possessed Furbies screaming dubstep for all eternity.
Ginsu doesn't understand my hatred of dubstep, but it's really very much similar to his hatred of capitalism, which of course has spread pretty effectively to myself. But like, yeah, no, I believe that dubstep is the capitalism of music. It's just, yeah.
It's a genre you don't like. It's not the devil.
I mean, as far as capitalism and its effects on music go, dubstep is like an absolute motherfucking case study.
I mean,
on the effects of money and the pursuit of profit on music and art.
Buy it if they didn't like it.
Yeah,
so,
but there's people that like capitalism and think that it's just the best thing since sliced fucking bread.
Well, yeah, and they bought it. I'm just saying.
It doesn't make it right.
The marketplace of ideas goes.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, okay. So what you're saying is you think all of a sudden nobody would like dubstep anymore in fucking communist utopia land? I don't really think that's the case, bro. I think it's just a genre that doesn't sit well with you.
I mean, it's a party music genre that has very little substance to it, and I mean, I think in a communist utopia, I think a lot of party music genres would go the way of the dinosaur because there would be less of a need.
There'd be no parties.
No, there'd be parties. There'd be parties. It's just people would feel less of a desire to get like drunk and fucked up and roofied all night in order to have fun and recover from the stresses of their week.
I believe the technical term is white girl wasted.
Yeah, except that guys get white girl wasted too.
That's the joke.
it appeals to drunk people. And when there's less of a need to get drunk, which is one of those things, it's like why are caffeine and nicotine and alcohol the drugs that are legal when they're no less harmful? It's because
those particular industries have been around long enough that they got involved in politics and shielded themselves. I mean, that's kind of the entire fucking story.
Yeah, okay.
There wasn't really big marijuana or big heroin so much. Those were things that, like, individual pharmacists, like, stocked. And then all of a sudden someone's like, hey, wait a minute. People actually enjoy this shit. Ban it! And there was no one to speak for it. Poor heroin. No, I'm kidding. That, seriously, like, opiates are bad, okay? I got some experience there. Yeah, no bueno. See, here, kids. The only problem with opiates is they solve all your problems. Yep, that's it. That's the entire problem. They're fucking perfect, and then you become dependent on them just to function.
Yeah, and I don't think that's something.
And then you stop functioning.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't understand how there's people that don't know that. I mean, most of us, even if we're not all heroin addicts, have been on, painkillers at some point. Most of us, I'm assuming, at some point in your life, you've had a major surgery or busted a bone or some stupid shit, and
Yep.
you get put on painkillers, and then all of a sudden, just not just the pain of whatever injury, but like literally every care in the world just floats away like a balloon.
Yep.
I remember when I had my fucking appendix out, and it's funny because at the time, I had just gotten out of college, and I was definitely in my experimental early 20s phase where one would be forgiven for both being my parent and also suspecting me of having drugs in my system. So I sit on the toilet for like a couple hours, like trying to shit my large intestine out. And then finally I'm like, all right, no, something's going on. Ouch. I go downstairs and my mom's like, what are you on? And I'm like, no, I'm not fucking on anything. I'm just, ow. Fucking hurts. Help me.
Oof, ow, my bones. And she's like, you shouldn't have drank that bone-hurting juice.
Yeah, and I was just like, it was just like, help me. Like, do something. I'm gonna die. I don't know why or how, but I'm gonna die because this really fucking hurts. And then I was like, we had the whole, well, where does it hurt? And then, like, she, like, took her fingers and poked me in that spot where your appendix is. And God. I was like, ah! And so we drove to the hospital, and, like, I get in there, and I'm like, if you're, like, I'm sure, like, if you've ever, I don't know if it was from the pain, or if I was actually going septic, or if I was just hyperventilating, because it hurt so bad that the only way for me to, like, cope with it was to breathe really hard. Like, I don't know.
No, dude, I have nerve damage pain. Like, I told you I had a bad day yesterday. Yeah, I know all about that crap. Like, I get occasional just literally blinding, like, I cannot fucking see pain, and I fucking, like, hyperventilate and sweat. Yeah, that's just, like, part of my routine, bro. I know all too much about that shit. I also know that
and now my story seems much less interesting.
Oh, no. Appendix bursting is legit pain. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to say, yes, I am familiar with this condition known as pain.
Gotcha. Yeah, and it was just like, when you get that pain, do you start to actually go a little bit numb in your extremities, even if the pain is still there?
Well,
Did you
the
get
thing
that?
is, I don't really feel anything but the pain. I don't really notice a numbness so much. I just really don't feel any or experience anything else but the pain.
Yeah, like the pain was so bad in that spot, and I was just like so just I don't know. It was so much that like I felt like I remember like my fingers and lips and things like that and toes starting to get all like tingly like they're falling asleep.
Okay, did your appendix actually burst?
It did not, but I think it was
Oh, okay.
but getting
You
to
might have
the
had some internal bleeding though, because that would cause the some of the extremity, like, well, the peripheral neuropathy accompanied by lack of blood flow to the extremities,
yeah. Um
which happens when one of your internal organs decides that it wants to become a receptacle for blood.
I whatever
Bad
it was,
business.
it's just unlike any pain I'd ever felt before, and it was just like absolutely brutal. And so once I was, once they actually got me in and got me, they gave me. Okay, so here's fun. I'm allergic to morphine.
Oh no.
Yeah, but morphine specifically. Like there's something about morphine itself. This just it gives me it makes my entire upper digestive system constrict and spasm.
Oh, that's
So
fun.
like I think they called it like an esophageal spasm. And like I don't know, it's like thinking about it and saying it makes it sound like, oh well, okay, your throat just twitches a little bit, whatever. No, it was like someone like I remember I had like a I like Coke can fractured my wrist in eighth
Uh-huh.
grade.
Uh-huh.
Like I was doing something stupid and I fell on my wrist, and my left wrist like literally Coke canned. Uh, and it was such a bad break that they actually had to and me being in eighth grade, I tried to tough guy walk it off,
Oh god,
and
no.
I was like, "Oh yeah, I meant to do that. Yeah, no, it's cool." Yeah, and then eventually I wound up in the school clinic infirmary, whatever, and
And the
yeah,
nurse passed out, and
yeah, and like the doctors gave me morphine, and then I had this allergic reaction where it basically felt like there were invisible ghost hands inside my chest with both hands on my esophagus and wringing it.
yeah.
And so yeah, that's why I can't have morphine. But apparently, other opiates are okay. But
Yeah.
I was told that if I ever try and develop a heroin habit, I'll die. And not from the heroin, or
Yeah.
not from the overdose of the heroin.
Yeah, no. The difference between heroin and morphine is like semantics, pretty much.
Yeah,
Morphine is just industrial grade heroin.
yeah.
So what did they give you?
They gave me Dilaudid.
Oh, Dilaudid. I've been there. My favorite combo was one time Bree had to take me. Actually, that was the first time. That was my neck like had been sort of bothering me. Like it was, sort of an achy pain. Like pretty much since I got back, like from the middle of my time in Iraq until that point, which was like a year and a half later. And then I went to Charles's place and I crashed on his futon that night, and I woke up the next day blinding fucking pain. Charles's futon was the straw that broke my fucking neck. And yeah, so Bree came and picked me up, and she took me to the hospital, and I was seriously just like all over convulsing, sweating, and like I couldn't even fucking talk and shit. And they gave me Dilaudid, Ativan, and morphine.
Did they give it to you intravenously?
You betcha.
Yeah, I got Dilaudid intravenously for that appendectomy. And you ever seen Star Trek Generations, the one with the
Yeah.
Nexus? And the way Whoopi Goldberg describes it, where she's like, it was like being inside joy, like you could wrap yourself in it like a blanket. That's what the fuck it was like, man. It was like every single problem I had and the pain just floated away, and it was like absolute perfect happiness and relief.
Yeah, no, it was so funny because I was in the hospital and they'd hooked up the IV, and I went from like being basically like unable to get out of it, like curled in the fucking fetal position, just like shaking and sweating and like hyperventilating, to I just realized at one point that I was just laid back on the bed and like laughing and joking with the nurse and shit. I'm like, hey, wait, I'm good now. She's like, well, we gave you Dilaudid, Ativan, and morphine, so yeah, you would be.
You were still awake?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like, when they gave me morphine for my Coke can fracture, I stayed awake. And I was actually, like, up and moving around the room.
Well, I mean, it's not a fucking it's not a general anesthetic. It's a fucking painkiller. Like, I know some people have no tolerance for it, and it just makes them pass out. And one of the reasons that happens is because opiates lower your blood pressure, and a little too much of that will make you pass out. That just happens. But I mean, it's not. They don't use that shit as anesthetic. If it happens to make you drowsy, yeah, that's on you. But you're missing all the fun.
Throw it. Did I do it?
Did I do? If you have to ask. But yeah. So after that was when I got, referred to a neurologist, and they took MRIs, and he went, "Oh my God." And that's when I got my first prescription for a bottle of 90 Percocet. Yeah, and I didn't climb back out of that bottle for a while.
I just blew myself up.
Cool.
Good job. Yeah, anytime I get a painkiller that comes in pill form, it makes me feel like shit. Like, the only things that ever, like, quote-unquote, do it for me is, like, when I'm in the hospital and something horrible is happening, and I get the fucking...
Well,
like,
yeah, because they give you the real shit when you're in the hospital.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I've gotten, like, Percocets and codeine pills for various things before. And, like, I would take them once, and, like, I think I had some when I got my wisdom teeth out, and, like, I immediately have to stop taking them, because as soon as they wear off, I have this colossal, like, clusterfuck headache.
Yeah, that's called withdrawal.
After taking it fucking once?
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah, well, it sucked. I didn't like it. No, sir, I didn't like it.
Yeah, now imagine me after being hooked on the shit for like a year, quitting cold turkey. Yeah. You ever been in so much pain you could feel your blood moving through your fucking capillaries?
Probably,
there's a whole special kind of pain reserved for when you've been on opiates long term. Because the thing is, it doesn't just dull pain, it kind of dulls all sensation as you're floating on your cloud of, the land of fairies and magic, where there are no worries or problems and everything is awesome.
Yeah, so just even thinking about that, like all the little minor stressors of just feeling in the world and existing, like, like I've got, like, I'm clutching this controller right now, and I got my fucking legs crossed, and it's just like the pressure of one leg on the other, the pressure of your finger joints clenching.
Would make you want to die.
Yeah, it's just you're not used to it anymore.
Yeah, you're you're not used to feeling anything. So all of a sudden, you feel everything. To say nothing of the fact that you can intimately feel every single opioid receptor in your body screaming, "Where's the fucking drugs?"
Oh, God. That does sound awful.
I swear I could, like, feel my bone marrow shifting around and shit. Like, it was just agony. Oh, my God. Yeah, so that's why I won't take... I have a bottle of Percocet sitting right behind me right now. I've had it for, over a year now? I just won't fucking touch the shit. I mean, that's seriously the only reason I have it is to prevent a hospital visit. Because I know when I go to the hospital, they're just going to have to give me painkillers anyway. So, I mean, and I know that, that they're just going to give me painkillers and then I'm going to leave the hospital and go back to life as usual. Like, they're not going to fix it. So, yeah, I just have them just in case I ever have a day so bad that I think I need to go to the hospital. And those only happen every few years. So, I have my really bad pain days, but there's a difference between that and I'm going to the goddamned hospital. I've learned to live with pain at this point, because, like, it's that or fucking death by opiates.
Oh my god, I finally fucking figured it out. Jesus. I'm sorry, by the way, guys, for anybody watching this that's like a master at this game, who's like just screaming at me right now.
I mean, like, if anybody was in the market for a speed run, they picked the wrong channel.
Yeah.
So that begs the question, what are you supposed to do with that bomb?
I'm supposed to throw it through the portal. And
Well, that's what you've been trying to do.
yeah, and
Hey,
but I was trying to
there
throw
we
it
go.
through the wrong portal. And then, like,
Oh.
I remember at one point I saw the bomb blocky things through the portal, and then, I don't know, something happened, I pushed a button, and then I couldn't see them anymore. And then I figured out how to make it go back, and then I did it.
Hooray.
Yes, hooray.
Progress.
Now I'm gonna go up this big, long, winding staircase, and I see a treasure chest up here on my handy dandy mappy map.
Mappy map. Oh yeah. There's another thing that grinds my gears.
What's that?
All of a fucking sudden, like, big open world games are like, oh no, we're not gonna have mini maps anymore. I'm like, I mean, I get that you think that your new, like, HUD and, interface design is, like, so cool and sleek and shit, but I mean, there's a reason we have mini maps. They're really functional. Far Cry 5 and Assassin's Creed Origins are both guilty of this. I mean, at least in Assassin's Creed Origins, you have Senu, your eagle, who you can send to, like, fly over and, like, scout out an area, and she'll mark all the bad guys and find treasure and shit. She's really cool, but, like, not a replacement for a fucking minimap, like, by any stretch of the imagination. If you had that and a minimap, great. Minus the minimap, it's kind of a necessity, because otherwise you're just running into shit blind all the time.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. There's been a few games where the lack of a map has just been, or the lack of a good map has just been, particularly brutal. But actually, you know what? I remember the maps in the Zelda games always pissing me off. I don't know. I couldn't really tell you. I couldn't really explain why, but I just remember them not really working like I'd like them to. And then, of course, there was... Wait a minute. Wait, what the fuck? I've already been... Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute.
Did you just...
I just went back the way I fucking came!
Oh, no.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, okay, hold on. Hold on. I've got a key now. I've got one of my little stabby knife keys. So I can just go up there to this blue thing, and I can use the stabby knife key to open the stabby knife door. Or to open the squishy eyeball door that you open with the stabby knife. By stabbing it. Stabby knife key.
Sounds about right.
I just gotta get on top of this thing and just a boing. You know what I never got over about Zelda is the fact that Zelda doesn't have a fucking, like, you can't jump in Zelda. Like, why? Like, what is the logical reason for Link not being able to fucking jump?
Because it makes it way easier for them to design a world that keeps you in bounds.
I mean, I just, mm-mm, mm-mm. Frustrating. Don't like it.
Yep, that's why I never really played Gears of War, is because I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be some kind of futuristic super soldier, but I can be like completely like blocked in progress by a curb.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I ain't buying this shit.
Oh, that's
I'm
like
going back to Halo.
Oh, finally things to kill. My God, I haven't been in combat forever. Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's like kind of like what was it Pro Jared's review of Sonic Adventure 2, where like the first boss battle, like you're kept in bounds by a sidewalk that doesn't even come up to your ankles,
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, this is dumb. And it's stupid. It's dumb.
and stupid. Also dumb.
And that was I think that was Egoraptor's fucking. Did my game just freeze? No, it didn't freeze. Okay. That was Egoraptor's fucking Castlevania review. Or sequelitis. Yeah, I remember that. Remember when I showed you that for the first time? His review of Ocarina of Time. The one.
No, I know I've seen it. I don't remember you showing it to me.
I feel like that made him stop animating and stop doing reviews and start doing Let's Plays. Is because I think he.
Well, I mean, he stopped doing animation and started doing Let's Plays simply because he correctly identified that there was way like more obtainable money in Let's Plays. And I mean, he already had some following, so it was basically like, well, duh, for him. And rather than having to put the effort into animating, you know, a sequelitis and then make no money off of it, he could just, you know, way easier. He could just do a Let's Play and rip on the game as he was going through it, you know, and it worked out.
Yeah, that's kind of the same approach that I'm taking, except instead of animation, it's my music. But I don't want to stop doing my music. It'd be cool if people that like my music also watch this, because that's
Yep.
the only real audience I have, and that guy's really gross. Ew.
As my stepdad always said, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it jump up and down.
Dude, that guy's really gross. He's just like a demon of just AIDS incarnate. He's all green and nasty. Oh God, and he's like vomiting everywhere now that I've killed him. Okay.
He's like plague or pestilence.
Yeah, they one of the liberties that they took with the original biblical Four Horsemen story is that they changed the names of two of the horsemen.
Of course they did.
So
You have death, war, and Bob.
biblically, if I remember correctly, it's war, death, pestilence, and conquest. And in the Darksiders series, it's war, death, fury, and strife. And Fury is actually going to be the protagonist of Darksiders 3, and she is more of a mage type character, so that's going to be kind of interesting. I'm actually really curious to see. I know her main melee weapon is a chain whip, but I'm more curious to see how the magic part of it works out, because they haven't really showcased that yet in the previews. And the melee combat looks good, but it looks a little bit clunky compared to what War and Death were capable of. And so I'm really curious to see like what they do mechanically with her magic abilities. What am I doing? Okay, I'm still going somewhat the right way. I feel like it's gonna take 2.5 acts of fucking God to get the fucking beam back this time. I can't even remember how I fucking got here. So I have no idea how I'm gonna bring the beam back with me. That Azrael guy might just be shit out of luck. But I'm gonna try. What was the game that made you the most upset?
The most upset.
Yes, the most upset in a way that, looking back on it, you really probably should not have been upset.
Nah, I wouldn't cop to that.
Why not?
Because I think I was justified.
Even as a child?
I didn't really get pissed off at any games. Probably like the most disappointed I ever was in a game was like Pokemon Stadium. But I wasn't really pissed off that. I was just like, well, that blows.
You didn't ever rage as a kid?
Not so much.
Wow. I must have had problems because I broke
I
broke some
have
controllers.
I broke some controllers too, but like it was
The controller deserved it.
It was usually more God damn it, I fucked that up again, not a this fucking game is bullshit kind of thing. No, this game is bullshit. I'm trying to think. Like the last controller I broke was I was playing. I think it was fucking Call of Duty Modern Warfare or something, and I was just pissed because like the same guy picked me off for like the 19th time in a match, and I just fucking gronked the thing into the stratosphere. Like I threw it into the fucking ground, and it bounced off another wall and ended up like going behind the fucking dryer, like on the other side of the apartment, and there were just pieces littered all over the fucking floor. But that was just I was pissed off because I was getting wrecked, not because the game was bullshit. The game that pissed me off most was definitely Assassin's Creed Unity. It was, to date, the only Assassin's Creed I have not finished, because I was just so pissed off. I was like, I don't care anymore. And I rage quit it, and to this day have never fucking finished it.
I can tell you exactly which game pissed me off the most, and to my knowledge, that I can remember, pissed me off more than anything else ever since or before, and that was Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I liked that game.
I liked it too, which was part of the problem. See, the thing about those kart racers. And Mario Kart, I had this problem with too, but Mario Kart was an altogether easier game. Okay? So,
yeah. Plus or minus Rainbow Road.
Yeah, but, you know...
the ender of controllers and friendships.
Mechanically, like, there was a lot more shit going on in Diddy Kong Racing. There was all these collectibles and shit, and that was just...
Well, yeah, there was the overworld.
Yeah, and like there was all the different goals and the balloons and shit to get in every fucking thing and whatever. And so, so yeah, I don't know what it was, but it was something to do with both simultaneously the difficulty of, you know, kart racers in general, with the fact that all these characters, like, whenever they would pass you in a fucking race, and they always would, inevitably, like, they were always faster than you somehow, and you had to, you know, game the game to get ahead of them. But, like, they would always laugh at you when they fucking passed you.
Yeah.
And it always pissed me off. And I, like, just... I don't know. Like, it's just one of those games that just made me rage so hard because I would do things and then I would die or I would lose or I would not make the time or I would not get in first place, and you would need to get first place in order to get the thing, and it was just, I don't know.
I mean, it was hard, but it wasn't like Pilot Wings hard. Did you ever play Pilot Wings?
I don't think so. I actually need you to talk for a little bit more right now because I can feel my throat starting to hurt.
Oh, great.
I just need to drink something, but yeah.
Yeah, Pilot Wings was it was one of the earlier games on N64. I think it was like the first game I got after Mario 64, and basically you would fly, and there were various different like aircraft, and like there were goals, like you gotta land on this exact spot, or fly through all these rings in so much time or whatever, and it was just fucking hard. It was just difficult. I never really raged about it because the thing is, like, it didn't feel impossible. It just felt like I wasn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's too many games now that feel like they don't know the difference between making a game like practically impossible to where you just have to luck into it eventually and being difficult. It is possible to make a game that's difficult without it being fucking Dark Souls. You know what I'm saying? Like, the problem with Dark Souls is, like, and I see this all the time, people are like, when you know the exact pattern you're supposed to run, but you can't help taking one more swing and you get one-shotted by the boss again. I'm like, okay, so what you're telling me is it's basically like a fucking the DDR of hack and slash. Like, there's no two ways to beat a boss. You have to do it exactly like this, with exactly precise timing, and until you figure that out, you're not getting past it. Like, I really don't like games that are like that, where there's literally only one fucking way to do it. Like, I just can't stand that shit. Because if you don't figure it out or look it up, then you're just not getting past that. And, I mean, I know we're all spoiled by, modern video, because, back in the day, there were tons of games that were so fucking hard that, most people never saw the end of it. Battle Kid. Oh my god. Fucking Aaron damn near lost his mind to Battle Kid.
I remember that. Yeah, that was bananas.
Blue plant, purple plant, fucking red plant. I am fucking done.
Yeah, and then he fucking didn't continue. He quit.
He accidentally hit quit. He's like, Ross believes in me. I have one more shot.
Yeah.
What? No. And it's bullshit. Like, they didn't actually have to end it there because they could have just checked the footage for the save code, but nope. He was done. Yeah. That was the best Game Grumps animated ever.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be us one day.
Yeah. Yeah, someone will put the time and effort into animating some of this shit.
I mean, portals?
Portals?
I just fucking made water happen. Lo and behold, I have made water.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, where did that even come from? I haven't seen a drop of fucking water in this entire dungeon, and all of a sudden just water everywhere. Okay. Alright, I'm down with that.
That is an amount of water.
Oh, hey, it's a thing. Oh, did my portal... Did my devious portal flams drain the water from here? Is that what happened? I think when I first showed you that meme, you actually didn't think that... I don't think you... Either you didn't know what flim flam meant or what a flim flam was, or you didn't think it was real. You didn't think it was a real term.
I don't think so. I'm trying to remember. I think I remember where I was. I don't remember my initial reaction. But, I mean, like, obviously I'm completely down with that shit now. Shout out to my dead Twitch channel, Flim Flam Devious. Yeah, that shit's funny. Yeah, and then you dug up all those variants on the theme.
Oh yeah, I don't think any of them were as good though. It's hard to match the magic of the first time. Giggity.
Yeah. Yeah. Which channel did you put those in? Oh, there they are.
They're all in the screaming room.
Yep. My prevarications have left you quite vexed. Looks like you've encountered and been outplayed by my well-played joke that does truly elaborate my true intentions in creating a public image of you as a fool. I seem to have made your experience less than enjoyable. Are you uncomfortable about this fact? Haha, are you angry, dude?
Remember when You Mad was first became a meme, and we kept
yeah.
we had our own variants of like you angry or you frustrated.
Yeah.
Darren was so like enamored with you frustrated. Like
Yeah.
I remember he used to say it all the time. He used to use it on Sean a lot back at the CA because Sean was
cool.
being Sean back then, and I mean
Cliff.
still is now, but you
Yep.
know.
Oh, no. He's evolved into like a total douchebag.
Oh, so
You get the kid laid once, and all of a sudden he's just.
I have not.
total douchebag.
How are people? I have not heard anything.
Well,
What?
I mean, I don't hear anything about him and his anymore after what went down with the wedding and whatnot.
Oh yeah, that was fucking stupid. I still
That-
like I don't know. Like I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm fucking just unconscionable, unbelievable bitchery. Anyway, but yeah, no, I'd been hearing shit about what happened with them as time progressed, and I was just like, fucking really? Like, really though? Really? Like, that Cliff is doing this shit? Really?
I remember now. Didn't you guys used to call him that or something?
Yeah. I've called him Cliff ever since.
Wait, how did he get the name Cliff? I don't understand.
At the CA, we were playing. I guess it must have been COD 4, and there was a campaign mission where you're like escaping from the bads on snowmobiles, and like the very end of the level, like you do this jump off a fucking cliff, and you have to like land on the other side, and he kept fucking up the jump, and so we just started calling him Cliff.
Oh, because he kept falling off the cliff.
He kept falling off the fucking cliff. Yeah, so well, the way it started was like every time we were coming right up on it, because you could, depending on where the bads were, because they're also on snowmobiles shooting machine guns at you and shit, because Call of Duty. Like depending on the pattern they were running, you'd go down the mountain slightly differently. So the thing is, we would just yell right as we were about to come up on it, because it wasn't, depending on which angle you were coming from, necessarily perfectly clear. We would just yell, Cliff! And then it became like, Cliff! And then we just started calling him Cliff. Because every time we yelled Cliff, it was for his benefit, so we started calling him Cliff.
Can you share with our audience the magic of what the CA is and what it was? Or what it was and what it is?
Well, it is, once again, as it was before it was the CA, a fucking Honda Carland parking lot. But back in the day, it was a LAN center. I mean, it was a gaming cafe sort of place where you'd go in and, pay for some time to use their computers, and Ryan would make nachos. And yeah, we would just all hang out there and play video and drink beers and eat nachos and quesadillas and just generally carry on with our tomfoolery.
I've never encountered a gaming cafe like that since, or LAN cafe like that since.
I
And
mean, there aren't a lot around anymore because, well, people just buy their own fucking computers and consoles and play at home. I mean, like, online gaming was just kind of, sort of, really taking off at that point. And you may remember, like, that was when internet speeds were starting to get better for residential. So, yeah, like, the timing when the CA died was pretty much, it died of natural causes. I mean, never mind the fact that, Britt just kept changing the name of the company while he was, like, avoiding taxes, and that he owed everyone who had ever worked for him thousands of dollars, and all the other various bullshit that he pulled.
was he a libertarian? He was
Oh,
libertarian,
probably.
wasn't he?
He was probably, yeah, he was probably libertarian, yeah. Well, if they wanted me to pay them what I told them I'd pay them, they should have worked harder. What?
Ow! Holy shit!
Oh yeah, that's the best thing about capitalism. You get told that if you work hard, do your job and all of that, you'll get rewarded. But the real problem is, like, you can't even keep your job unless you go above and beyond. Like, so you have to do more than what you're paid to do.
Ow! I just died.
that
Yeah. Wow. I was doing so well. Like, as slow as I've gone through this dungeon, this is the first time I've died. Oh well. Anyway, pray continue.
Yeah, but like, so you have to do more than you're paid for just to, like, keep your job, and yeah, it's fucking bullshit. Like, it's capitalism. I fucking can't with this shit. And there's so many fucking people that are choosing, like, gun control laws as their hill to die on. Like, I cannot fucking...
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to turn any of our streams into a debate between us on that particular issue, because that's one where I have a really hard time picking a side.
I don't. Like...
Yeah, I know. I know you don't.
We're never going to be able to overthrow tyranny without guns. That's why we have the Second Amendment to begin with. It's kind of how this country got its freedom to start with. That's why they put it in the Bill of Rights. People that think, oh, well, that's a misinterpretation. No, the fuck it's not. Read the Federalist Papers.
I don't think it's a misinterpretation. I just think that, I mean, it's like I keep saying, like, we keep... Like, I've not seen one person use one gun to kill one tyrant in this country. Like, everybody uses their guns to kill other people. Like,
I mean,
other oppressees.
Homicide by firearm was not unheard of in the fucking 1700s either.
I know, but I mean, like, I don't know. I just, I think people would feel much more inclined to see the good in guns if we got to see them used for good. But we don't very much.
I'm not saying that that guns are inherently good. They're fucking inanimate objects.
No, I know. It's just
every single time some fucking tragedy happens that doesn't involve a gun, I always send it to you like, oh man, if only Texas had bomb control laws. Oh no, if whatever fill-in-the-blank European city, because it happens so goddamn often, had vehicle control laws. Like, seriously, like, people are going to kill people. It doesn't fucking matter what kind of weapons you try to restrict. They have mass stabbings in China all the goddamn time. Like, seriously, like, if you actually look, you have to look for it, because of course nobody reports anything that happens in China other than, oh god, there's children in the factories. No, there fucking aren't, and haven't been for decades. Like, the Chinese government really cracks down on shit like that. Like, really, really, truly, a company would get completely shut down if they got caught with one underage worker in anywhere near their factory.
I'm scared.
I'm scared. Oh
my god, yes! Fucking die, motherfucker. I'm gonna give you a fucking stone botomy.
Stone. Step off me. Like, it kind of looks like his head's already open. Like, you're... Yeah. It's like his brain's exposed and you're just fucking stabbing it and twisting.
Oh my god. I have so much wrath meter now that my wrath actually drains slower than my life in a lot of these fights. Even though I've got like an ability active that is consuming my wrath gauge constantly, and yet it's still taking that long. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna stop arguing about guns because I was gonna lose anyway.
Oh no, let's not have any arguments that we don't know will win.
In this case, it's only because we've already had it many times. And
Yeah,
I usually...
But for the benefit of anyone who might listen to this.
Okay, yeah, okay.
It's just, they're inanimate objects. Like, and if you well, several things are true. Like, people are like, oh, but Australia. I'm like, yeah, but the thing is, like, they didn't force that legislation on a populace that didn't want it. Like, the populace said, hey, let's ban guns. And the thing is, you might say, oh, well, that's what's happening here. No, the fuck it isn't. A very loud minority is screaming, let's get rid of all the guns. Like, seriously, still, the majority of people don't think that we should kill the fucking Second Amendment or otherwise gut, individuals' ability to keep and bear arms. Because guess what? There's gun owners of every stripe of politics. Every stripe of politics. There's people that own guns, and people that own guns probably would rather you not take their property.
Oh, but what if we do away with property?
Well, if we did away with property, then we wouldn't need them. Because you do away with property by doing away with capitalism, and you do away with capitalism, and all of a sudden you're going to find that property crime ceases to be a fucking thing, and people won't feel the need to be strapped all the goddamn time.
Oh, fucking just dropping bombs, man.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, like, why do I have guns? For fucking self-defense. I mean, seriously, if I hear somebody kick my door in, they're catching 2 in the chest and 1 in the head, and then I'm calling the sheriff and saying, you may want to come clean this shit up. Handle my lightweight. I'm going back to bed.
Oh, fucking with this shit again. It's making me play the fucking mirror game again. Alright, whatever. Fucking...
Yay!
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. And, like, I mean... I don't know. I've considered buying a gun many times and actually learning how to use one first.
That's the kind of important thing. Like, so many people, oh my god, my dad is one of these people, is just like, oh, well, I've got a shotgun. I'm like, several things, father. One, he's one of those people that thinks, oh, well, if somebody breaks in the house, you just rack the shotgun and they'll run screaming. Yeah, 1, no. And 2, if that's the only weapon you have available, you're gonna fucking ruin your house. And moreover, he's like, oh, well, if I hear someone creeping down the hallway, I'll just shoot through the door. I'm like, 1, you have no fucking idea how buckshot ballistics work. 2, your likely is not to kill my sister down at the end of the hall in the process of doing that shit. And 3, you've now told the fucking psycho that broke into your house exactly where you are, and he's probably not carrying a shotgun. He's probably carrying a fucking Saturday Night Special, which will hit target where he ain't. Like, the shotgun is the worst possible weapon for home defense. You really want a pistol. And the reason why so many people go with the shotgun is because, like, oh, well, aim doesn't matter that much. I'm like, yeah, if you have infinite budget for rebuilding your goddamned house, seriously, you shoot through a fucking wall, you could, like, take out fucking 2x4s and shit and have to completely replace the entire wall. And I'm not talking about drywall either. Like, you could blow out fucking, electrical wires and shit in there and cause all manner of hell. Like, you could start a fucking electrical fire by shooting through a fucking, power main or some crap. Like, really, do not use a fucking shotgun for home defense. If I get nothing across in this, do not use a fucking shotgun for home defense. And people are like, oh, but, aim won't matter so much. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding? No, learn how to fucking shoot a gun. Like, don't just buy a shotgun and say, I'll just aim it in their general direction and it'll work. That's not how shotguns work. It's not how shotguns work. It's not you point it in the general direction and you pull the trigger and bad guy magically evaporates. No. No.
Oh,
if you're going to use a shotgun, it's actually way more complicated than using a, bullet-based firearm. Because you got to know about spread, and it's so much harder to calculate what the fuck's going to happen when you pull the trigger on a shotgun than it is when you're firing a bullet. Like, if you're firing a bullet and it doesn't hit target, it's because, well, you misaimed. With a shotgun, it might not have hit how you thought it was because of range. And if you're going to try to judge range with a 12 gauge in the dark when you just woke up and heard something go bump in the night, oh, fuck off. Especially if you're a civilian and you're not trained in wake up and shoot that thing, then no, it's not going to fucking happen. I'm confident in my ability to pull my Glock out from under my pillow and put somebody down if they're standing in the door to my room. Because I'm trained in that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's not like a video game where none of the shit around you is capable of breaking.
Oh no, you will find that IRL, all environments are destructible.
And like all NPCs are vulnerable too.
Yeah, and they don't respawn. Yeah, there are no critical NPCs in this game called IRL. It's like Rainbow Six Siege. Like, all of the walls can be torn down with ease, and when people die, they don't get back up. Like, oh, but the real thing that would really, freak the fuck out of someone that thinks, I'll just buy a shotgun, is when you pull the trigger and the person doesn't instantly go down, or worse, the person does instantly go down and now you've got a fucking corpse in your hallway. They've not thought this shit through. Would
you not have a corpse in your hallway if you were using any other weapon?
Oh no, you would definitely. Oh my god, if I pull the trigger on this fucking Glock and put a 40 caliber hollow point through someone's head, there's gonna be a corpse in my hall. The other thing is, there's gonna be a sizable hole in the wall surrounded by blood and brain spatter. But I know that's gonna happen. Like, these people that just think, oh, I'll just rack it and they'll run. No, the crackhead that broke into your fucking house is not going to run at the sound of a fucking shotgun racking. And here's worse. Some people are like, I won't even buy shells. I'm like, there's a difference in the sound when you rack it empty versus racking it with one in it, right? No? Yeah, you have no business owning a shotgun. Oh my fucking god. And then people are like, oh, well, why do you have an AR-15? I'm like, my AR-15 is chambered in .22 long, and it's made for shooting paper at the range, and it's fun. It's actually funny. Like, every time I, because you go to the range and, trade weapons. If you get to talking with someone, you might try each other's guns out and shit like that. And every person that I've, handed it to has pulled the trigger, a couple times, and they just looked up at me smiling like, this thing's a hoot. It's just funny because it has absolutely no kick. It's stable as hell, but also, it fires something that's not a hell of a lot bigger than a BB and does about as much damage. Like, seriously, if I think someone's breaking into my house, I am reaching for my katana before I reach for that fucking rifle.
So, here's a question. What are shotguns actually made for?
They're good for, birds, for example. If you're trying to shoot a bird midair, a shotgun is the weapon of choice because you get that spread. So if you miss by a bit, you're still at least going to wing it, and it might come down, and then dog runs off and grabs the damn thing. So shotguns are good for that. They're good for, I mean, we'd always have somebody when we were, breaching buildings and shit like that. You'd always have one guy would have a shotgun. He'd usually be first or second in the door because it's good for, clearing a room in rapid fashion. You get a semi-automatic shotgun and just go pow, 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 pow. You can, sweep through a room pretty quick with that, with less pulls of the trigger and less total ammunition than it would take with, the fucking saw that's coming in behind him. That said, I was always more comfortable carrying a fucking, light machine gun than carrying a shotgun. Like, because I had way more faith in what was going to happen when I pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're at point blank with the 12 gauge, you're pretty much set. But, I mean, they get, 30, 40, 50 feet away. Which way is the wind blowing? I mean, like, it just, I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of shotguns because it just seemed a little too inaccurate for my taste. And I know that there's good shotguns and bad shotguns and people that can, shoot the wings off a fly at 100 yards with a fucking shotgun. I'm not one of those people. I'm good with bullets. And I'm talking anything from fucking 22 to 30-06. I have fired the Barrett 50 cal. Oh my god, that thing fucked my shoulder up. Like, I thought my technique for shooting long rifles was good, and then I realized that I'd been pocketing the stock wrong like all my life. I learned that day. Oh my god, it fucked my shoulder up so bad. A kick on a 50 cal will fuck you up if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, in the few games that I've played with guns in them, I do rather like shotgun type weapons. They're fun.
Well, yeah, because in a video game, you round a corner on someone, pull the trigger, and they just go kaboom when you're using a shotgun. Like, it just, they really, of all the guns in video games, shotguns feel the least realistic to me from my experience. Like bullet-based weapons. I mean, you've got other problems like, you have to shoot someone 14 fucking times with a 5.56 to put them down. Like, that's not really realistic either, but I mean, the problem with the 5.56 is basically just a fucking souped up, 22, and it's got its own problems. Like, you shoot somebody in the, right between the eyes, and it bounces off their skull, rolls around, and then exits through the skin of the back of their head. Like, that shit happens. Like, ask any combat vets you run into how they feel about the 5.56 as a round, and they'll probably be like, I shot this one guy 14 fucking times and he didn't fucking die. Same thing with 9mm. I have no faith in 9mm, which is why I have the fucking handgun that I do. Like, I bought it, a few months after I got home from Iraq, and I was like, I'm definitely not buying a 9. Phoenix bought a 9. He bought a fucking Beretta 92FS, which is what the Army calls the M9. He bought a fucking Beretta 92FS, like the 911 edition and everything. Yeah, Phoenix is a libertarian.
The anyway, 911?
Yeah.
Is it actually called that?
No. I mean, when I say 9/11, I mean 9/11. Like, it had the World Trade Center and Never Forget on the slide and shit.
You're not serious.
No, I really am. He really spent a large amount of money on a 9/11 edition fucking Beretta 92FS, and I couldn't fucking believe it. I'm like, you do know that they made 9/11 edition Glocks, right? He's like, oh, no, I got used to the Beretta while we were over there. I'm like, I got used to the Beretta being...
Yay, time slowdown. It actually happened when I needed it to.
Well, I got used to the Beretta never working when I needed it to, but being a halfway decent hammer while we were in Iraq. I mean, seriously, I'd use it to fucking, hammer nails and shit while it was loaded because I knew the goddamn thing wouldn't fire. I always said if it really came down to it, I would throw my fucking Beretta at somebody before I tried to shoot them with it. It wasn't made for the sand environment. The other thing was I had no faith in the 9mm as a round.
Also, wait a minute. Go back to that part about Phoenix being a libertarian.
Oh yeah, he's a hardcore like Ayn Rand was right and did nothing wrong libertarian, like
Nuh-uh.
like not full blown ANCAP, at least last I talked to him, but like the last time we talked was he was like trying to tell me to read Atlas Shrugged and shit, and I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, nah. And let me stop you here. I'm not reading the fucking Fountainhead either, because spoiler alert, I've read both of them and they're fucking garbage.
What's the Fountainhead?
The Fountainhead's
never
the
heard
one
of that.
that's it's Ayn Rand's other best known book after Atlas Shrugged. It's the one that they got like all the Wall Streeters and Madison Avenue petite bourgeoisie like just jerking it like 24 fucking 7, just like till it fucking chafed, like buy futures and lotion and fucking like dick rash ointment, because like just go long in those futures, because like shit's only going up. I mean, seriously, if you watch Mad Men, like the boss of the ad agency is like, "Have you read The Fountainhead? Here, have a copy." Like, you got to read this. This book is great. It's funny. He's just serving as the stereotype of that fucking guy in that time period. But yeah, Ayn Rand was a really shitty fiction author, and yeah, she was on Social Security, so. All that shit about, I don't need no damn government. I'm like, your fucking hero did.
And she was also an immigrant, wasn't she?
Oh, let's not talk about that either. Yeah, she was an immigrant that came over here and got on Social Security. Wait a minute. Yeah, no, really? Like, I mean, you can pretty much go and blow right through any of that ideology from kind of any angle. It's got the structural integrity of a fucking, like, wet tissue box.
Oh,
or,
man.
you know, a VW thing, if you're old enough to get that reference.
Yeah, I don't know. I just it strikes me as weird that like so many, like every other person that I know that was in the armed forces that actually deployed came back as a libertarian except for you.
I mean, like, a hell of a lot of vets just as soon as they get out, just go and work for defense contractors. So of course they think it's the best fucking thing since individually wrapped cheese, because they're making, like, all of a sudden they go back for 6 months and make 200 grand, doing less work with like none of the bullshit of the military lifestyle, none of the chain of command bullshit, none of that, and they're making like 200 grand in 6 months. Yeah, of course they fucking love it. Yeah, it's really easy if you just say, yeah, I'm gonna go be a part of that. Like, it's really, really easy to just fall into the trap of making a fuckload of money. But if you take a step back and say, is this something I should be doing? Which is what I did. I was just looking around, and like we had really like highly skilled mechanics in our unit, right? Like light wheel mechanics to work on Humvees and deuce and a halves, 5 tons, LMTVs, MRAPs and shit like that. And fucking, they were just sitting around the motor pool because some KBR fucks were doing all the actual maintenance. They literally only had Army mechanics there because, regulation required that a soldier sign off on all the work orders. So they literally just sat there to rubber stamp the work of the KBR guys that were getting paid, 12 times as much as they were getting paid. Just heinous. To say nothing of the fact that, anytime we got told that, a mission got scrubbed, there's too many civilians in the area, we'd see triple canopy rolling out. Yeah, anytime the government just, needs some plausible deniability on some shit, or they need someone to blame when there's a mission to be done, but civilians are probably going to get wrecked in the dozens, they just send the fucking contractors to do it. They'd send, Blackwater, which I think by then was calling themselves Z. They'd send Z or Triple Canopy or, any of the other ones, the fucking mercenaries. They'd just send them out to do it. Because, then if CNN caught wind of it, the government could just be like, oh, well, yeah, we heard about that. That's awful. We cut ties with them. Yeah, the fucking invoice here says that they did exactly what you asked them to.
Someone's hammering in my apartment building, and it's really driving me up the wall because, not because I can hear it, but because I can feel it. And yeah, no, it's not the sound, it's that I can feel it. Like, there's nothing worse than like when there's hammering going on in your apartment and like you put on headphones to drown it out, and it drowns it out, but then you can feel it coming through your ass.
Yeah.
In the fucking chair that you're sitting in.
Yeah.
Like, and oh god, I hate my neighbors so much.
Just call the cops and report a sexual assault.
Yeah.
Causing unwanted sensations in your bunghole region.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think that would go over too well.
Yeah, probably not.
All right, we're almost done with this ridiculous fucking dungeon. Believe it, I'm
still waiting for the part of the game that you enjoy.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I have this theory that whenever you play a game, like for any purpose other than your own like private enjoyment, it becomes work.
Yeah.
And therein lies the magic of doing Let's Plays.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's why I quit playing Halo, was because I'd been playing, like, low-level MLG, and it just wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I did it for like a year and a half or something, but like it wasn't fucking fun anymore. It was work. I mean, every day, this time, got to get on and practice with the guys, and it ceased being fun.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I'm still having fun. It's just there's certain parts where it really depends on the game, because some, like, in order to be able to successfully play a game in a timely and fluid fashion, there's certain parts of the game, depending on the game, that really require your full attention.
Yeah.
And when you're doing a Let's Play and trying to throw entertainment for your audience into a mix, it really does become frustrating in some way or another, depending on the situation.
Word.
Anyway, cutscene. What I was going to say is that this is actually the last real dungeon. Everything after this is bosses and fetch quests.
But
that's okay. That means we're mostly done with the puzzly, like, infuriating, heady part of this game. Not that I don't think that this game has good... I think Darksiders 2's puzzles were much better designed, to be honest, but I also just think Darksiders 2 was a much more successful iteration of what they were trying to do, and that Death is a much better character and fulfills a much better power fantasy, just because he's... I don't know, he like, in this game, you have a sword, and you have a scythe, which is Death's scythe, by the way. It's literally his scythe. Then you have these fist weapons. And in Darksiders 2, okay, you... like, not only do you have, like, a full-blown skill tree, and you're able to much better customize and deck out Death with different powers and stuff, and those powers are actually meaningful and a key part of your strategy beyond just hacking and slashing. Like those ghouls I told you about that can blow up and take aggro from you. No, not only that, but you can actually build weapons with various stats and various, all sorts of things. And they have like fast and slow weapons, and sort of medium weight weapons. Your scythes are kind of like the main kind of in between. But then you can also get like giant fucking axes and hammers that fulfill that like brute force, like slow but beat the shit out of everything in a couple hits.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
Assassin's Creed has all this kind of shit too.
Yeah, and then you have like claws and shit that are much more fast and like beat shit up like really quickly and whatever. And Death moves much faster. He covers ground much more effectively. He's just kind of more agile than War is. The puzzles are more satisfying. You get your horse from the very start of the game instead of having to wait till halfway through.
And beat a stupid sandworm.
Yeah. This is a boss, by the way. And this actually is the guy that you fight at the beginning of the game. And so he's the guy that knocks your fucking lights out at the beginning, and then you wake up with all your powers gone umpteen years later, and yeah, now we're gonna get revenge, I think.
Hopefully. You're gonna get revenge by shooting portals onto his weapon?
Ouch. Oh. I thought you were joking, but I actually didn't see. Oh shit. Well, that didn't last long.
Rip.
What was the point of... Wait a minute. Okay. I can't get my bearings once I come out from that.
I think the idea is that when he's about to smash you with it, you stand where you'll get hit with the portal, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, or this. Or, well, maybe not that, but... Oh, so you gotta wait until he's, like, holding it over his head.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was doing, but... Oh, no, fuck this. Summon ads on me? That's original.
Nothing in this game is original. I'll tell you something I've seen in a game recently that I thought was original. There's multiple different kinds of bows in Assassin's Creed Origins, and there's like the sniper bow for like long range, and if you pick the right perk, you can guide the arrow mid-flight like a tow missile, which is funny. But then I'd been completely sleeping on the light bows because I was like, well, I've got hunter bows, they must hit harder. No, the light bows are basically fucking submachine guns. You just go like just like spamming out arrows, and I'm like, wow, this isn't realistic at all. I love it. Just spraying arrows. This shit is so broken. It's been a lot of fun. But I have not seen that in a video game before. Get it! Get it!
Where am I? What?
Whoa!
I just glitched through the world. Ow. Oh, the portal goes away on his weapon after you use it once. That's weird.
Yep. Oh. I see, with the whole glitching. You glitched through him. That was special.
I really don't get to hit him as much as I'd like. during his little vulnerable periods.
Beat the shit out of Far Cry 5 where you never get to kill any of the bosses.
That just seems like not fun.
They all die in cutscenes.
Okay.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you have to go through these ridiculous, ridiculous boss fights, but then you don't actually get to kill them. It sucks you into a cutscene, and that goes on for like 20 minutes, and then when you come out of it, they're dead. With one of them, I was so fucking sick of that entire arc, I just skipped it. And I was like, they may be dead, they may not. I don't fucking care anymore at this point. Better plug in that controller, bro.
Ow.
Better plug in that controller, bro.
It's not... It's got a while to go when it says that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that's what I always tell myself when my Xbox tells me that the beast is running low, and then I end up fucking, like, in the middle of some shit when it dies.
Here we go. Alright. Yay, a trophy. I just made a portal into his fucking face and then lobotomized him from inside his skull.
Nice.
As I said, stronger than the top robot. Now let's see how useful I am.
Oh, God.
Isn't that awesome?
Super metal. That's a bit beyond a lobotomy. Wow. Navi's less evil cousin is definitely just likes to pop in and out at random.
You mean more evil cousin?
I know what the fuck I said. Did I stutter? Hey, listen! Hey, shut the fuck up! This game would be enjoyable if you weren't in it!
Such a fool. Azrael, you saw Abaddon after he fell. Saw him. I brought him here to Eden.
What treachery is this, Azrael? Eden doesn't exist. Not anymore.
Ignorant sprite. I bore witness as the first ones were cast out in the garden.
So here's weird for you. Since I started vaping, I don't do hiccups anymore. I can't quite explain it. I'll get like one hiccup and then just be like, nope, and they stop. I have no idea what that has to do with vaping, but I mean, I guess I've gotten the hiccups from, like if your Addy runs a little bit dry, it might hit you in the chest just wrong. But I get like one hiccup and then I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that, and it stops. Like I just had one.
The only thing that ever gives me hiccups is laughing really hard for a really long period of time. That's the only... I've never gotten hiccups from anything else.
I don't know what that feels like.
Some receive nothing. Others are driven mad by visions, or simply destroyed. No, I cannot say for certain. Come.
You ever order something and then just like stare at your phone, waiting for it to come, even though you know it's going to be like a week?
No, can't say I have.
Because I got a new mod coming, and I'm really stoked about it. But I know there's no way it's going to be here before probably like middle of next week. But I'm going to keep staring at my fucking phone anyway. Like, is it here yet? Is it here yet? Is it here yet? No, it's not. Because I told you, I'm still using the same fucking mod I was using at your wedding. And unfortunately, as is the case with all manner of technology, vaping has improved since then.
that it has marked you. Creatures of the light will sense it.
And Amanda got a new setup because her shit was just like completely failing, and she was using a mismatched set and everything. So I was just like, "Get you a new setup," and she's like, "Well, what do I get?" And then I found this whole smock setup that's like baby pink, and I was like, "Wow, that's heinous." She's like, "I love it." I was like, "Well, then get it." So she's like, "Okay," and she got it, and I was like, "Well, that's special, but how does it vape, motherfucker?" And the answer is so good, so good. So yes, I'm constantly stealing my wife's bright pink mod because, my God.
So, another thing, we just got the Darksiders version of the Lens of Truth.
The lens of truth. Is it a lasso?
No, it's a mask that lets me see shit. And now I'm gonna fight Dark Link, only it's Dark War.
You got Majora's Mask.
He's not really very good at being War. He's kind of bad. Shadow Link was a much better opponent. Oh, okay. So he's gonna be like that, huh? All right, cool.
You know, Dark Link is an unlockable outfit in Breath of the Wild, right?
I couldn't hear you over the sound of two fire beasts duking it out
Okay.
and being awesome.
I
I just punched his
said-
arm off. Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. Dark Link is a playable character in something.
Breath of the Wild.
Oh, I did not know that.
It's
then
not
again,
a
I've never-
character. It's not a character. It's an outfit. You can just get the Dark Link outfit from this one vendor.
First gift
The problem is you're never really going to use it for anything but screenshots because the stats on it are just shit. There's a lot of cosmetic outfits in Breath of the Wild. There's really only like one or two sets that you'll ever really want to use. Yeah, it's a good game, but there's plenty of shit in it where it's just like they were just looking to add more crap to this, weren't they? Like the final DLC for it, they added a motorcycle. But here's the problem. You don't get the motorcycle until after you've completed essentially all the fucking content in the game. So that's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? And New Game
I hate
Plus,
that. Like
New
when
Game Plus in Breath of the Wild is go beat Ganon again. I mean, like when you beat Ganon, it just resets the world to right before you beat Ganon.
Hurry up with this tree business. And don't forget what I
So yeah, the novelty there is practically non-existent as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So there's basically a whole bunch of chests that are hidden throughout the world that you can only find while we're wearing this mask. And when you're not wearing the mask, they look invisible, like so. So we're gonna go find those, and it will assemble. Well, that one won't, but that one will give us money. But yeah, we're gonna find them, and then when we find them, they're gonna have pieces of a thing in them.
Okay,
Uh,
well, you can still see it. You just can't really interact with it.
Yeah, well, you can see it there, right there, because I was like looking right at it and standing right over it. But if you just waltzed by it, like it's easy to miss. Like it's pretty well camouflaged if you're not like if you don't know where to look or you aren't paying attention. But if you're actively looking for treasure, then like yeah, like you'll probably come across chests that are like, wait a minute, what is that? And then you just can't do anything with it. And then there's a chest down here somewhere that I would love to interact with. So this is Eden, and other other areas in the Darksiders universe that correspond to Eden or to heaven or paradise tend to have this same kind of visual aesthetic. So like most heavenly locations kind of have this look. That's kind of the art style that hasn't really changed too much between the different Darksiders games, even if the mechanics have improved a lot. But yeah, and there's a couple areas and locations in Darksiders 2 that are like this, that are supposedly in heaven. And that is the Tree of Life up there. And yeah, right now we're just going on treasure hunts, but I've already gathered a vast majority of the treasure that the game would have you gather right now, because it assumes that people don't leave dungeons in the middle of the dungeon to go find shit with the item they just got, like I did off screen. So yeah, we have a lot less on our plate than we would, but I would really like to find. There's a chest right here, and I can't. Oh, it's because it's invisible. See, I didn't even. I was like flying back and forth over that location, and then I was like, oh, that's right. There's invisible chests now. And I guess it's a tutorial for invisible chests. I don't know. It's giving me a lot of fucking money, though, so that's nice. But yeah, I'm wondering when one of these chests will start to have some of the things that I'm looking for in it. This one, maybe? Ooh, an abyssal armor piece. I think I only have one more of those left that I need to find, so that's good. There's probably one. I'm sure there's one back in the dungeon we just finished that I missed. But it would be.
Fuck that shit.
Well, no, actually, if hold on. Yeah, I'm at 9 out of 10 pieces. So if that's the last piece we need to find to get my upgraded armor, then we're gonna go back there, with the player's guide in tow, no doubt. But yeah, because the abyssal armor actually looks pretty fucking cool. Not gonna lie on that. Although I'll be honest, I don't actually know how to get out of here. I'm guessing. Okay, yeah, I probably just need to go up these stairs. Can I use ruin here? No, I can't. And war doesn't say this is no place for a horse, sadly. Oh, I keep meaning to tell you this. Did you know that the guy that is the voice of death in Darksiders 2 is I forget his first name. His last name's Wincott, and he does. I think that's his last name, and he does a lot of voice acting, and he's been in a lot of movies. He was in. I think his most well-known role was he was the bad guy with the long hair in The Crow. And
that was a while ago.
And he's got like the really deep, gravelly voice. I can't remember his first name. Oh, another cutscene.
I will meet you at my side.
I would follow you into hell, my lord.
God, The Crow came out in 1994. Ugh.
Yeah.
Michael Wincott.
Michael Wincott. Yeah, I kept wanting to say like John Wincott or Matt Wincott, but no, Michael Wincott. Yeah.
Michael Wincott as Top Dollar.
Yeah, if you like Google up like a picture of him, you'll probably recognize him from like a bunch of movies, and like he's got a very distinctive voice, and like I think that was a really probably the most badass like voice acting casting choice that they could have made.
Once the throne learns what you've done, you'll be cast down, dragged.
Yeah, he's really well known for his voice.
You're already down.
I don't know if he smokes
Oh
or what.
shit, he's in Westworld.
Would you serve
Yeah.
in heaven?
He was in Alien 3 too. Or no, not Alien 3. Alien 4, the one that everyone hates.
Return to
I mean, everyone hates Alien 3 too, but I didn't dislike it as much as other people did.
Face of the universe.
Abaddon must be punished. He bends the law to his will, laughs in the face of the council. What proof do we have? The seals are intact. No doubt the angel had help, but from whom? Until we know, we must.
Yeah, the guy, I don't know who it is that is the voice of War, but I think it was a poor casting choice. I mean, his voice isn't bad, it just sounds kind of forced. It sounds kind of like, I don't know, it sounds like kind of a stereotypical kind of, I don't know. It sounds forced and it sounds, I don't know. Whereas the voice, like Death's voice in Darksiders 2 is just awesome and makes him a much more relatable and likable character. I don't think War is that relatable, to be honest. He doesn't demonstrate very much personality.
Am I seeing this right?
What? Saying what?
So you know how you said that you liked Michael Wincott?
Yeah.
Guess who the voice of Death is in Darksiders 2?
That's what I have been telling you. That's what this entire conversation's been about.
I thought you just said you didn't know who did the voice of, or were you
War.
talking about a different character?
I was talking about War, yeah.
No, I thought you said there was another character you liked. How did I flip this in my head that quickly? Possibly because I'm tired. Fuck. What? Okay, I'll look up who the hell the voice of War was. But if it wasn't good, then I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no, the voice of Death was awesome. Like,
Oh, it's Troy Baker. What?
Who's
no,
that?
I read that wrong. I was gonna say there's no way. Troy Baker's a huge voice actor. He does Abaddon, Straga, and Tortured Gate apparently in Darksiders 1. War was voiced by Liam O'Brien, who I've not heard of, but Troy Baker I have heard of. Let me get a list of his work right quick. Why did I click on that? That is not what I meant to click on. I meant to click on this. Let's see here. Holy shit. Where's some? He was... Oh my god, he did one of the voices in Trauma Center New Blood. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Various Soldiers.
huh. We're gonna play that game. That's a good game.
Destroyer. He was betrayed.
He voiced Joel in The Last of Us.
Nuh-uh, really?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
dude,
well,
his
he's-
resume is long as shit, dude. He was in Silent Hill, Mass Effect, Armored Core, Ninja Gaiden,
Okay, well-
Diablo 3. This guy, he's Call of Duty Black Ops, Fable 3, the Naruto series, fucking Mafia 2,
Okay, well, he was.
Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy 13.
I think he was miscast as War. I'm sure he's. I know he was good in The Last of Us because I thought that game was
Well, it could've
borderline
been-
flawless.
It could have been poor direction, and poor, poor editing choices because, like, what's his name? Matthew Perry did a voice for Fallout New Vegas, and it was like it's endlessly mocked because it's so fucking horrible. And I mean, that's just because direction was bad. Like it was awful because he got bad direction. It's not that dude can't act. The dude can fucking act.
Yeah, well, I mean, like
It's the same thing with fucking Peter Dinklage got totally screwed over. They removed him from Destiny, and it's like, we know he can act. Like you gave him bad direction.
It's strange because so many of the other voices in this game I think are just spot on, and like, but War, I think the best way I can describe it now that I've given it some thought is that he sounds like every time he speaks into the microphone for one of his lines, he's doing it through like clenched teeth, like all the time.
Yeah, he might have gotten that as his direction.
Is that really how things like that work?
I mean, yeah. Seriously, the game's not done when they record the fucking voice acting. Like, they record the voice acting whenever it's, like, easy/convenient. I mean, they might want the voice acting before they do the animation, to try to, like, match it up better or whatever. So all they have to go on is the script and however they're told to portray it.
Yeah.
I mean, at best, they might have storyboards or early renders or something, but, like, they're not seeing what you're seeing when they record the voice acting for this shit most of the time, except in, like, the highest budget of games where they do simultaneous voice and mocap.
So that is like a luxury that some games have.
Yeah, only, like, the highest budget of AAA games produces shit like that. Like when they put Kit Harington in one of the Call of Duty games, they did that as like, full on mocap and shit. So that's different. But yeah, here's another name you ought to know as far as voice acting goes. Nolan North.
I'm actually like not huge on like keeping up with voice actors. I just happen to know that one because it's very Michael Wincott's voice is pretty unmistakable. Like when you get a chance, like I'm sure if you do some googling and listen to his voice, like you'll see what I mean.
Well, I mean, I know the dude's voice because now I know what I've heard/seen him in.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know if you could remember it or not, the way it sounded from memory. But let's see here. Cutscenes. I need to find out where that last abyssal armor piece is.
Dude has 368 credits on IMDb. Good God.
Sounds like a lot.
But yeah, like he's the voice of Nathan Drake in Uncharted. Like, just for example.
Okay, so here's one of the abyssal armor pieces, right? I think. Interesting. Or no, that's one of the blade pieces. Okay. So I'm making a sword and a set of armor. Only I've kind of been making the set of armor. Oh my god, hey dude, look where we are. Let me take this mask off. And it'll be more obvious. We're back in this hellhole.
Oh no. No.
It's okay, we don't have to stay here. It's just where we got dropped off. Oh god.
No!
Oh man. It's alright, we won't be here for long. Volgrim's gonna help us escape. Volgrim? Buddy. Hey, okay, thank you. Right.
Oh, that's right. Nolan North was also the voice of Dr. Hammond in Titanfall. Dude's in, like, everything.
All right. Oh, that's right. We need to use our teleporty powers. Oh my god, they're all the pieces are fucking marked on a map. Like, come on. All right. I do want to go back to Eden, though. Or not Eden, but I want to go back to the Black Throne so that I can get that last armor piece. I hope I can do that.
Through the serpent hole you go.
Oh, when we play Valkyrie Profile, you're gonna get a kick out of that because you're gonna recognize all of the voice actors. Are you not curious as to why?
Well, I'm looking it up, so.
Oh, not even gonna give me the pleasure of playing the guessing game with you.
No. The internet exists.
Oh God, such a fucking wet blanket.
Yeah, hi, have we met? Terra Sands? Okay, why am I supposed to recognize all of these people?
You may not recognize them by name, but if you like Google Valkyrie Profile voice acting and do something
I'm
other
looking
than...
at the entire cast list.
Okay, well, the cast list won't necessarily tell you anything because you may not know who these people are by name, but you know who they all are because you've collectively heard all of them in one other place, at least.
What? Pokemon?
Yes, there you go.
Yeah,
all of the same voice actors from the original Pokemon, every last one.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's gonna be a shocker.
Well, not now.
No, but I mean, it'll be a shocker hearing, like, it'll still be interesting, like, hearing all of their voices in a different context, because they're not really, like, the guy that does, like, there's a character in Valkyrie Profile that sounds just fucking like Brock, and there's another one that sounds just like Jesse.
So as it turns out, this is just how these people talk.
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't think so, because I've seen the people talk in interviews, and they'll switch between their normal voice and, say, Brock's voice, and it'll trip you the fuck out. God, I really don't want to be back in here, but I really want to get that last Abyssal Armor piece really bad, because the Abyssal Armor looks really cool, and it'll make me take less damage, and it'll just generally be cool. And if I could just find the thing on a map, and do a little bit of that, and yeah, map. Where do I need to go? Of course. And I need to go. Damn it. All right. God, I wish there was a way to fucking shortcut it through here, but...
I'm going to have to run here in the next handful of minutes, so...
Okay, well, that's fine. I'll save the... I'm just going to grab this last armor piece, and then whenever we come back... Do you think you'll be able to do some time tomorrow?
I don't know.
Oh, wait, tomorrow's
I don't think
Saturday,
so.
right? Yeah, okay, alright, never mind.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, well, maybe... Yeah, I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll save the sword piece grabbing for next time, since that'll give you a nice chance to see the rest of the world that you didn't see in the first few episodes, and doesn't really take too long since they're all marked on a map. But yeah, I I mean, we got a good bit done. Like, we're very close to the end of this game. Like, the next time we stream, we'll finish the game for sure.
Sweet.
And then we'll move on to bigger and better things, hopefully.
Alrighty then.
All right, everybody. See you later.
Peace.